Hello, Senpai Recap is here. Please consider subscribing and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you are always updated with our uploads. Oliver Horn makes his way to Kimberly Magic Academy. We see a few other main characters making their way there. They watch the welcoming parade of monsters when somebody plays a prank on Katie Alto and forces her legs to run towards a troll. The troll goes berserk but is stopped by a samurai girl, Nanao Hibiya. She intends to take on the troll, but Oliver knows it would spell her doom, so he has the rest help him out with his magic plan to create a diversion. It was successful to take the troll's attention away, but Nanao did not run and instead knocked out the troll. When she did so, her hair changed from black to completely white. Oliver recognizes her color change as innocent color. The ceremony begins with the headmistress, Esmeralda, giving her speech. She warns them that their lives are in their own hands, because 20% of the students at the end of their 7 years here will end up being consumed by magic, meaning they get corrupted, go crazy, and some commit suicide. But it is all up to you to achieve greater heights. During the welcoming banquet, our main characters get acquainted and introduce each other. We have Michella McFarlane from a very famous magic clan, Katie, who is into animals, Guy Greenwood, who is into plants, Pete Ristan, whose family does not have any magic, Oliver, who comes from another great family clan and has family members at this school, Nanao, who was about to be killed in battle but was saved by Chella's father, who is an instructor at this school, hence she was recommended to attend. Oliver is up very early one morning and goes for a walk. He notices someone watching him and calls out to her. Teresa Karst is tasked by his brother to watch over him, and if he needs her assistance, feel free to call her. Oliver proceeds to check out the academy and ends up seeing Nanao taking a bath in the fountain. Seeing that, he quickly casts a spell, creating a curtain around the fountain. He scolds her for bathing there, but Nanao explains that she was purifying herself from the blood during her last war. Oliver then gives her his mantle. Oliver notes to himself that Nanao is strange and innocent, but has a blood smell she can't get rid of. The first day of class begins. Pete is showing off that he knows much about the history of magic, and some students are already sniggering at the nerd he is. Luther Garland, the instructor at Sword Arts class, will have some students duel with each other, so Nanao quickly volunteers. When Richard Andrews volunteers to fight her, Oliver gets a bad feeling about this guy and usurps him to fight Nanao. He knows he was the guy who stood there watching during the troll incident and did nothing. Richard gets upset when Oliver points this out, so Chella offers to fight him instead. Luther then announces 2 duels, Oliver against Nanao and Richard against Michella. He calls first Oliver and Nanao and casts an anti-lethality spell on their swords so that they don't injure each other. Nanao uses innocent color and starts attacking Oliver, who barely is able to keep up. While fighting, Oliver realizes that Nanao must have killed people and is quite skilled. As she cries, Oliver decides to get serious, and the two engage each other seriously, but Luther stops them, stating that he didn't tell them to kill each other as unconsciously they both broke the anti-lethality spell. Seeing the intensity of this match, Chella and Richard withdraw from their match. Later, Nanao thanks him for facing her seriously and wants to duel him again. However, Oliver is not pleased and refuses. He will never fight her again, for he doesn't want to kill her or be killed by her. Then, under some magical biology class by Vanessa Aldous, the students are to feed the right amount of magic into silkworms, because too much will turn them into vicious monsters. Today's task is to produce 5 normal cocoons from 10 silkworms. Everyone doesn't have any issues and easily completes the task. But the one who is worrying is Katie, because, as an animal lover, she is trying her best to save every last one. And then, when the final one flopped, she still thought she could save it, but got bitten, forcing Oliver and Chella to intervene, causing them to lose points for intervening. Later, Oliver talks to Katie as she relates why she will always try to help any animals or demi-humans. She cannot accept the rationale of mages exploiting anything that has no human rights to their benefit. All Oliver can say is about the harsh reality of this world, and that what she has seen is just a fraction. Though it is her choice if she wants to remain the way she is. Later, when Pete claims he lost some books, Oliver and Chella quickly help him find them. Although it is found, Suddenly the landscape changes. As Kimberly is built upon a maze, the hallways turn into a maze after sunset. Oliver states that students often get lost, so there are instructors and upperclassmen who often patrol. But they encounter an upperclassman, Ophelia Salvadori. Olivia and Cella are cautious about her since her pheromones have a very seductive effect. It might not work on them, but it does on Pete. They quickly take him away and won't accompany her. However, another upperclassman, Cyrus Rivermore, won't allow them to just leave. Ophelia then comes and states that they are cold for running away in the middle of their conversation, and perhaps they need some discipline. Apparently, Ophelia and Cyrus hate each other's guts. The two then release their magic, summoning two beasts to fight each other. The rest take this chance to escape, but Cyrus stops them with his bone wall. Nanao shows up, noting that this is a place where men die, a feeling she knows well. Nanao cuts down the bone wall. She tells Oliver, Pete, and Michela to run after she joins the battle between Ophelia and Cyrus. However, the battle is stopped by another student, who incinerates the two summons. The student introduces himself as Alvin Godfrey, the student body president of Kimberly, and promises Oliver and the rest that they won't be hurt. Another fifth-year student, Carlos Whitrow, shows up and puts her blade on Ophelia's neck. Leaving the labyrinth, Oliver then lashes out at Nanao because she intended to fight and die in that battle. The rest cooled him down and let Nanao explain her story. She starts talking about the battle she was fighting. There was endless killing. She reached the enemy's general and wanted to fight his son, who was said to be the best. However, she was pointed out as having just easily slain him. The general was saddened by his son's death and ordered his men to kill her. But that was when Cella's father popped up to prevent that and invited her to Kimberly. Nanao comes from a school of thought about fighting to kill someone you respect and admire. That term is called Shiawace. It is something she has been looking for. She was happy when she fought Oliver, but then subsequently he turned her down, and she got all weird about it. She is unsure if she has fallen for him or for his sword. Cella advises that she will come to find a new way to live, and the proof is that she is here and alive, so it's not a dream. The next day, Nanao is obviously too close to Oliver. Not that he hates it. Then some lessons from Luther about the current spellblades and those who are trying to invent new ones to defeat existing ones. As they practice, Richard still wants to settle a score with Oliver. He agrees, but Nanao wonders if he will lose on purpose because she feels it from him. Later, Cella tells Oliver that Richard is her childhood friend. Both were always compared to each other, so he has developed a fear of losing his place. Soon there is a commotion as Katie confronts Snape Darius Grenville because he wants to kill that troll. He is not amused. She is vouching for a life that would probably kill many if left to live. She claims she will convince it not to kill, but he laughs at it and teaches her a lesson with this painful spell. Luther and Vera Milligan come to stop him, as they tell him the investigations are still undergoing, so the troll is still an important piece of evidence. Besides, right advocates are no longer a small group, so you bet there is going to be trouble if this gets out. Grenville backs down for now. Vera introduces herself to Katie, noting that he is a 4-year student and that she was also worried about the troll. Since Katie also loves demi-humans, Vera tells her to come to her if she needs anything. After they leave, a familiar brings a letter to Michela, informing them that Richard is challenging Oliver and Nanao to a duel. Katie is trying to make friends with the troll. However, this has made many students mock and badmouth her. Guy wants to give them a peace of mind, but Oliver doesn't believe it is worth it. Until those mockers continue to do so in Katie's face, Oliver blows his top. Nanao and Guy join him to blow them away. Sure, they get detention, but now almost everyone else is against them, and this will affect their duel with Richard. When they head over to the Colosseum to face him, Richard and his partner then face 2 kobolds, and Richard easily kills one of them. It turns out they will not be dueling, as Richard feels he will not get his deserved honor in that. Instead, they will hunt kobolds brought into the ring, and the one who kills the most kobolds wins. Obviously, Richard is a veteran at that. Nanao gets mad and chastises everyone for enjoying such a blood sport. This fight is not worth her blade. But chaos soon ensues because inside the kobold cell is a divine creature known as a Garuda. Yes, it starts slicing everyone. From the looks of it, this isn't part of the plan. Even the audience can't run since the loose kobolds are attacking them. Richard gets scared and runs away, only thanks to Nanao blocking the attack. Nanao then engages the Garuda. Meanwhile, Michela protects Katie, Pete, and Guy from the kobolds. Nanao and Oliver put up a gallant fight against this mad creature. Oliver gets injured and retreats to heal himself. He sees Richard cowering there. Richard can't understand why they can fight that monster. Have they no fear? Well, Oliver does, but he can't say for Nanao. That is why she has to help her and teach her what it means to be normal. Besides, Nanao was hoping to see him fight. Oliver returns to assist Nanao, and they need to end this quickly. Oliver will be the diversion to create an opening for her. Soon the Garuda attempts a wind attack, which Oliver waits for and uses Tonitrus to hinder it, giving Nanao a chance to strike. However, the Garuda recovers too quickly, and Oliver moves in to protect Nanao with his body. Just as Garuda was about to hit him, Richard hit it with impetus, saving Oliver. This allows Nanao to decapitate the Garuda and end the madness. The duo thank Richard, who reveals he wasn't actually afraid to fight, but rather the loss of being an embarrassment to his clan since they put high hopes on him. The duo continues to praise him with all the honors and consider him a comrade in arms, so I think it's safe to say that they're friends now. Or at least Richard won't be holding such petty grudges against them. The friends discuss about the Garuda attack, and basically it was an attack on conservatives who don't want to give their rights to demi-humans. It could also be retaliation from demi-human rights activists for that troll incident. Hence this might spark a war, but Kimberly won't do anything about it since it happened in the labyrinth, and they'll view it as students having their little arguments. They shift their topic to praise how good Oliver was. So Cello wants to give him a victory kiss. When Nanao learns about it, she gives him a kiss and then requests that he give her a victory kiss as well. Oliver feels quite embarrassed, but agrees to do it. But he is interrupted by Oliver's cousin, Shannon Sherwood, who is here to say hi. During Grenville's magic class, some students had trouble with their experiments, so Oliver was quick to help solve all of them before they blew up. This earns Grenville's attention. He notes his talents, but warns him to choose his friends carefully. Later, Richard talks to Oliver to warn him about Grenville. This guy has a very shady reputation, like stealing results from his students and publishing as his own. Oliver will soon get an invitation from him. Tempting, but think twice before accepting. His friend also wants to talk to them. She is the one who pulled that troll prank on Katie. She did so since her family thinks activists like her are an embarrassment. However, she didn't think it would go out of hand. Katie continues to talk to the troll, and to her surprise, he can actually speak. The troll warns her not to come here anymore. As Oliver and Nanao talk about the troll incident, it seems from Nanao's point of view, the troll was trying to run away rather than going berserk. This opens up a new perspective for Oliver as he realizes Katie is in danger. Too late, she is kidnapped. The troll gives the description of that person. As they make their way, Oliver narrates about some past project about activists trying to make demi-humans smart so as they could have the same rights as humans. But the project was scorned by many. Perhaps someone is doing that secretly in Kimberly. Not surprisingly, it is Vera. She has kidnapped Katie to examine her brain for her talents since she managed to get the troll to talk. Don't worry, she'll put it back and release her once she is done. Of course Oliver won't allow that. Vera does some powerful magic that is easily dispelled by Oliver. She further introduces herself as a rights activist and wants to raise demi-humans' status in society. Oliver attacks Vera with Tonitrus, but she counters with a more powerful Tonitrus. Nanao then attacks her, and Vera takes her into a sword fight. Vera manages to handle Nanao's sword skills and trips her. As she is about to finish her, Oliver attacks to save her. The two continue to fight Vera, who manages to fight both of them easily. Vera shoots out an impetus, which Nanao manages to feel with her sword and deflect it. Vera gets impressed and excited about their skills. Oliver forms a plan with Nanao. He creates a bouncy object, sending Nanao behind Vera, while he keeps her distracted with attack spells. Nanao then charges Vera from behind, but Oliver then realizes that Vera has another basilisk's eye on her left hand. Nanao sees that as well, and guessing that her curse travels at the speed of light. She realizes that her sword must be faster than the speed of light and cut the space and time around that flow around it. Nanao manages to accomplish that and cuts Vera's left arm before she can petrify her. Vera then loses consciousness from the shock. Seeing what Nanao did, Oliver realizes that Nanao himself hadn't realized it, but what she did was an unavoidable attack and the appearance of a new, 7th Spellblade. Nanao requests a victory kiss, but in that moment, Alvin and Carlos arrive. They are surprised that they managed to handle Vera on their own, and they explain that they came after an anonymous tip. In the aftermath, after Katie is saved, she learns of Vera's fate. She might have started out with good intentions, but seeing Katie make troll talk, she got greedier. Because the troll has shown some intelligence, it will not be disposed of as a unique specimen. Katie is glad everything worked out, and she kisses Oliver and Nanao. Katie stays positive on the path she takes, and this makes Oliver cry. Well, he is happy he got to protect somebody. Later, Grenville summons Oliver so as to clean up some students who died while doing some research. Oliver then questions him about the troll incident because he is not a biology teacher, yet he wants to get rid of it like he wants to bury some evidence. But he finds it odd that Grenville is helping Vera. It seems Grenville wants to eliminate stupidity from mankind. To do that, he must find a way to change human intelligence. Thus, he is planning to use the same techniques on humans. But now he feels disappointed that he won't get demi-human samples. Oliver then changes his tone and asks for his alibi on a certain date. Grenville soon realizes that he is targeting him from the start. They fought, but Oliver could see all the different future outcomes. Most end in Oliver's death, so he picks one that makes him emerge victorious. After he slays him, he reveals he is the son of the woman he slew that night. Grenville is shocked not to realize he is her son. Yeah, they don't look alike, so it worked in Oliver's favor. Oliver then tortures him with various pains that he caused his mother until he says the right word. That word is to end this, so Oliver kills him. Big Brother Gwyn and Shannon check on him, and despite Oliver's determination to use this special ability until it kills him, they note he only has very limited numbers to use it, so don't do so unless necessary. All the other comrades gather around as they coronate Oliver as their next leader. It seems their goal is to kill every last one of those traitors who betrayed and killed Oliver's mother named Chloe. Oliver confirms that he will kill all of them. Vanessa, Francis Gilchrist, Enrico Forgeri, Demetrio Aristides, Baldia Muizicamilli, and Esmeralda. In the year 1525, Oliver's mother was being chased by 6 people. She managed to escape and survive thanks to Esmeralda. However, she backstabbed and killed her. With 6 more people remaining, Oliver recalls Nanao's word that there is no joy in a blade wielded for revenge and guesses he will find out if her words are true. Esmeralda and Chloe's killers are having a discussion among themselves as they note Grenville has been missing for 4 months. It is safe to assume that he is dead. She wonders if one of them killed him or if it was a student. Either way, that person has made an enemy of her and will only regret their stupidity. One night, Pete feels hot and wakes up. He then realizes that he now has a female body. Oliver wakes up hearing him screaming, but Pete tells him to stay away. During the day, he is acting strange and telling his friends not to get near him, making them feel weird. Then there is Stacy Cornwallis and her attendant, Faye Willock, who are relatives of Chella. They have been ignoring her ever since she enrolled at Kimberly. Dustin Hedges will teach the students how to ride a broomstick. Apparently, broomsticks are living things, so they'll hover close to you if they like you. There are many who like Nanao, but it seems there is one stubborn broomstick Nanao takes a liking to. In short, they hit it off as they rode wildly into the skies. This brings back memories for Oliver because his mom used to ride like that. Later, the friends talk about Grenville, who has been missing in the labyrinth, but are soon interrupted by Theodore Cella's father, who is here to teach them alchemy. Then, in the next class of magic engineering by Enrico, he has the students defuse some bomb box. They spend nearly 60 minutes, but are unable to dismantle them. As 10 seconds remain, Oliver tells everyone to take a safe distance. But in that moment, Pete feels pain and is unable to run. The trap activates, with snakes coming out of it. Oliver then protects Pete, allowing himself to be bitten by the snakes. Seeing the snakes, Guy states that if he knew what it was, he wouldn't have been that scared. Oliver then privately talks to Pete, and from his actions all day, he knows he has switched gender. Some phenomenon is called reversy due to one being unsure of their sexuality, but because of that, the best of both worlds means his spells are more powerful. Carlos heard it all and gave Pete an invitation. Oliver accompanies Pete into the labyrinth as Alvin leads them to a secret party that is a gathering of students with this reversible condition. The students mingle with each other to make each other feel more comfortable with their sexuality, and this makes Pete feel a lot better. Oliver tells him that he can get his own room at school, but Pete doesn't want to stay alone and prefers staying with Oliver for now. Michela tells Nanao about the various broom sports. The group is then approached by Tullio Rossi, a first-year student. After introducing himself, he explains that he knows them all. Before he leaves, he tells Pete that he is sure they will meet again. Later, during sword arts practice, Pete is put against Tullio. He rushes quickly, but Tullio backs off and trips him, and easily defeats him. The teacher then advised Pete to not rush things and keep his distance. Tullio then mocks Pete, calling him princess for being protected by all of his friends, and explains that way he won't get stronger. As Pete wants his friends to teach him to get stronger, Oliver and Chella argue over which of their styles should be taught. Katie suggests they both teach him, so they make a compromise. Tullio is observing them and joins them. Tullio then comes up with a game to see who the strongest first year is. Each will be given a medal, and the winner of the fight will take it. The 4 with the most medals move on to the finals. Evelyn Audits challenges Nanao and thinks that as long as she can keep her distance and use her magic, it is an easy win. Too bad Nanao's swordsmanship is way better than that, as she takes this win easily. As Oliver is invited to have tea with Gwyn and Shannon, he stumbles into Ophelia, who talks to him for a while. She warns him not to adventure too much and should be studying like a student. Meeting up with Gwyn and Shannon, they discuss whether Nanao is the 7th Spellblade. Oliver has no proof, but his guts tell him so. Even more so, the broom that chose Nanao belonged to Chloe. Oliver is confused about his obligations to help Nanao, so Gwyn tells him to forget the complicating feelings and concentrate on being himself. On his way out, Tullio wants to fight him. Oliver accepts it, and they prepare to fight. Tullio then states he forgot to mention something, but suddenly attacks him, stating it was nothing. Tullio explains that he likes to fight dirty, and the 3 fancy styles won't work on him. He steps on Oliver's food and punches him with brass knuckles. However, Oliver is fine with all that. He also thanks him and feels ashamed to be embarrassed by someone as weak as Tullio. Oliver then states that he will beat him in 8 moves. Angry, Tullio attacks, and after blocking his attacks, Oliver grabs a hold of his hand, forcing him to go on his knees. Oliver commends Tullio's unique fighting ability and hopes he learns some basics to hone it further since his skills will soon hit their limit. He is telling him this since he envies him for his talent. Oliver views his own skills as not the product of his own talent. Tullio is annoyed, but after fixing his arm, he gives Oliver a medal, noting that he ended up losing to the one he wanted to beat the most and even got a lecture. After that, Joseph Albright challenges Tullio and is going to take everything from him. Subscribe for next part of this anime. Thank you for watching till the end. See you next time, and peace out.